What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be talking about Meshtastic. That is all the nodes that I have set up over here. All these are different types of nodes that you can operate on the Meshtastic, and I'm going to tell you what that is and explain some of the more basic concepts of getting into this amazing side aspect of amateur radio. And it's not really amateur radio. Let me tell you more. You do not have to be an amateur radio operator to get these devices. You do not have to be an amateur radio operator to use these devices. These devices all work on the 900 megahertz in the commercial band, so no license, no GMRF license, and no FRS license, and no CB license are needed to operate these devices. If you're overseas, they'll be on the 800 megahertz, and it's all dependent on what country you're in and if they allow it or not. So please check that if you're overseas. Already, I have posted on my channel a live stream that should be popping up over here, talking about how to first set up this device and get it running and talking to each other. This is just a kind of a first look on what is Meshtastic, how can it help you out, and who can utilize it, which is anybody. Meshtastic is a technology that many different makes and models of nodes can be built for, and the point of it all is to pass text messages. These nodes themselves are not connected, and this is a key part, not connected to any cell network, not connected to satellites, and doesn't need any other type of infrastructure other than the nodes themselves. So that means this node, this is a Spec 5 node, can talk to this node directly and doesn't need anything else in the middle for support. So here is a graphic that displays what I'm talking about. So say I am attached to my node via Bluetooth to the phone using the Meshtastic app. We'll talk about that more in a minute. I create a message on my phone and I hit send. When that message is sent out, it's sent over the mesh network, and that is the loosely connections of all these different nodes to each other, and each node retransmits that message out till it gets to its final destination. So say if I sent a message to the guy over here on our right, our message will be sent via the mesh node in the middle, and then it will be relayed to the ending node. And as the graphic shows here, it can allow many different hops to get a final destination. So maybe in a different instance, I sent a message to a mesh node over here, it's one of our friends that has it, then it will travel through node 1 and to get passed to node 2, will get passed to node 3, and then it will be finally delivered to the final node. And this is all done via mesh magic. Just like how the internet works. We don't know. This messages flow back and forth and magic happens and it delivers the message. And I'm fully aware that the majority of my viewers know how the internet works. I know how the internet works. So it's not that magical, but let's just kind of keep it at that level because we're not deep and dive into the technology. We're just looking at the top level and the beginner's guide on this. So let me help demonstrate this on a map approach. So say that we are at a theme park or a fair in my case, and we get separated, or we just decide the group to separate, which is never a good option to split the party. And I want to send a message to my friend. In this case, we are both the purple dots. In this example, let's also say that these red dots are other nodes out there, and these purple dots is the message sender or the destination. And these nodes cannot reach each other directly. We need help by other nodes in the area, and that forms our mesh network. So this node 1 here creates a message and transmits it out, and it has enough power to hit this node here in the network, but we are not communicating to that node directly. It sees the traffic, passes it along to the next node. The next node knows it's not the destination, but knows enough to pass that node message along again, retransmits it out, and it gets to our purple node. And that is it in the nutshell. A majority of all these mesh devices also can transmit GPS information. Again, that's, GPS and satellite is talking to this thing to get the GPS. There's no other communication that's going to it because it just has the GPS information that it sends out in its packages. That's kind of mesh itself in a nutshell. How different nodes can talk to each other directly, or they can talk via someone in the middle to send that message along. I have 3 different devices that I'm showing here. This is a Hellcat 3 device. It does not have any GPS built in, and it has a super small battery. I wouldn't really recommend this as a first node to start off, just because you got to get an extended battery and there's no GPS built in. This is the SenseCap T1000, I think it is. This form factor itself is pretty slim. It's about the size of a credit card. And it's all self-contained, built-in GPS receiver. The battery is about right there. It lasts a good at least 3, maybe 4 days. And the only kind of drawback is it's not USB-C charging. It comes with this proprietary plug. I think this is actually a standardized plug, but it plugs into the back, and it can be a little bit annoying because you only get one of these. And if you forget it on a trip, then this, once it becomes dead, is no longer useful. The other device I have is the Spec 5 Delta. This device also has built-in GPS, it has a built-in large battery, and it's USB-C charging with an external antenna. I haven't really tested these that much, so I can say what's better than the others from sending or receiving. That's probably going to be coming up here in a later video. So all the devices I have here do not have a keyboard to type onto. I connect to my devices via the app itself. The app is available both on Google Play and also Apple App Store. Once you have the app downloaded, it's just as simple as connecting to another Bluetooth device, and then the app itself will sync up with all the devices you're connected to and also see the nodes around your area. So these nodes have been coming in since last night, and we can also look at the map and see where all the other nodes are. I am going to try to do a video of talking about these devices pros and cons, and maybe a distance test if I could figure out how to do it reliably. So this is a great thing to have in your pack, and I am going to be using this as I go to a Renaissance fair, and I'm going to be placing this on my girlfriend. I can get all this set up on her phone so we can pass messages across to each other. Because a good use case for all this is going to a place that the cell towers themselves are overloaded because there's a mass dense of people. Data is slow. I've gone to festivals like this before, and just data is just crawls. You can't use Discord. Text messages take 30 minutes to send. And with this, it will go instantaneously. Plus, it'll beep on their phone and give you an alert that, hey, there's a new message, and we can talk to each other. If we get lost, we can query each of these devices themselves, and it'll give us the GPS location of that device, so make it easier to find each other. At least that's going to be my use case. Your use case could be different. It could be disaster preparedness. This is just another tool in our box. Or like Robert has a couple of these nodes set up throughout his property, and he could pass messages to his wife and back and keep track of goats. He literally has a tracker on some of the goats so he can track the herds all over the property. This is just cool. What can else I say about it? Y'all, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. If you're not a supporter already, please consider to do it because this channel runs on your support. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, go forth and conquer.